Hello everyone, welcome back to SouthTech tutorials. Today I will be taking you guys through calculations in Excel. By the end of this series, we shall be able to know how we can get the maximum number, the minimum, the total and average, and the position as well. So in the previous tutorial, I organized some data where we shall come and do the computations. So it is this very data that I will use to get the maximum mark using the formula, the minimum, the total, average, and the position. So let me just add the position here. Let me first mark the cells. So here I will type position. Position is the same as ranking, so we shall get to know who is the first in this class and who is the last, depending according to the results. So for those ones who haven't yet gotten this data, maybe I will have to compile and then put it on the description so that you can download, or you can just watch in the video and you also open your MS Excel and type the following, because the main concept here is for the students or the learners to know the logic, how you can get the maximum number using the formula, and how you can also get the total using the sum formula as well. So I'll first show you guys how we can get these things using their formulas, then later I'll show you how you can also generate using the auto sum and the predefined formulas which are in Excel. But for the general knowledge and understanding, I have to first show you how you get to know the maximum, the minimum, the total score, the average, and the position or the rank. So now let us start by getting the maximum mark for Shalom Kenneth. So what we're going to do is cross-check the marks of Shalom Kenneth. So we shall look through and then we get the maximum mark for Kenneth. So we shall use a formula, which is equal sign, and then you type marks representing maximum. Sorry, you type marks, then you open brackets. We want to get the maximum mark for Shalom Kenneth in all the subjects. That means we have to know where we have to start. So we shall start from math up to history. So in the previous tutorial I showed you guys how you can rate data in cells. So like this 80 now, if you want to rate this data, you have to consider the letter which is on the column, which is C. It is read as C4, the column lettering, and then the row numbering. So that is C4. We type C4 to where history is. History is on J4 up to J4. Then you close bracket, click on enter. So you can now see we have gotten the maximum mark for Shalom Kenneth. 95 is the highest mark he has scored in the results, so which is the ICT. This is his maximum mark in all his subjects. In order for us to get the rest, there are two methods. You can use the same that I just used here by starting with equal sign marks open brackets. Then you need to know where John Kennedy's mark for math is starting from, or where it is red. That intersection is C5. So we have to type C5. C5 to, we want to look through up to history, and history is inside the cell of J5. So we type J5, close the bracket, then you click on enter. So you can now see the maximum mark for John Kennedy is 96, and that is, he scored that 96 in math. So this is how you can use the Excel formulas to generate the maximum mark. Now, in order for us to get the rest using the second formula, you have to just come to the dot like sign. By the time we just hover on that, we shall be presented with a cross like sign. Then you have to double click. So you can now see we have gotten the maximum marks for the rest of the students. Like the maximum mark for Judith Kello is 99, and if you click on that mark, you are presented with its formula up. You can now see. So this is how you get the maximum mark. We removed that by mistake. So now let us get the minimum mark. In the subjects of Shalom Kenneth, we want to get where he scored the least mark. So we shall use equal sign, type min, representing minimum mark. You open brackets, and then you start with the first mark, which is math, and math is inside the cell of C4 up to, from C4 up to J4. Close your brackets, and then you click on enter. So you can now see this is the least mark Shalom Kenneth has scored. He scored 50, and 50 is the least mark among all his score. To get for the rest, let's just do the same. Double click, and we have gotten the minimum mark for the rest of the students. So now we want to get the total score. The total score of Shalom Kenneth. To get the total score, you have to start with equal sign and then type sum. Open brackets. We want to add all his marks. That means we have to start from math up to, you can also use this method, just drag up to history. From math up to history. Then you close your brackets, click on enter. So you can now see we have gotten the total mark for Shalom Kenneth. This is the total mark for Shalom Kenneth. So guys, you can now see we have gotten the total score for Shalom Kenneth. We want to get the total score for the rest. Just do the same work by double clicking on the dot like sign. So from here we shall look at how we can get the average mark. I want to show you guys how we can get the average mark, and whenever you are doing these calculations, make sure you start with equal sign first. Let that one be behind your mind, and it is very essential. You start with equal sign and then you type average. Average, open brackets. We want to get the average mark from C4 up to C4 up to J4. Stop there, then you close your brackets, click on enter then. So now we have gotten the average mark for Shalom Kenneth, and it is 79. We want to get the average marks for the rest. Do the same work. So now we have gotten the average mark for each and every student in this senior 1 class. So we are now left with position. We want to know who's topping the class and who is the last in class. To do that, let me extend my bar. For the position, we shall also use a formula for rank. We don't use position, but we say rank. However, you have to start with equal sign. Equal sign, then you say rank. Open your brackets. So in order for us to get who is number 1, that means we have to rely on the total. We have to use the total to get the person in the first position. So we shall use the total score. We shall use from M4, we shall use the total of the first student up to the last student. So I haven't closed the brackets. So this is the formula for getting the position, who is the first. So we shall start with M4. M4, then you say comma. This is always the starting point. This is the formula that you use when you are getting the position. So here we shall introduce a dollar sign in front and in the middle of M4, and then also in front of M19. M19 is the total mark for the last student in our Excel worksheet. It's not the last person in class, but just according to our worksheet, M19 is represented by this letter and this number for number 19. So we have to put the dollar sign in front of that M and then also after, or in the middle of M and 19. So now you click on enter. So the first name, Shalom Kenneth, is number 9 in class. We are yet to get first. Just do the same. So now we have completed our computation, and the first person in this class, number 1, is, let's check the name. The first person is Kavuma Abra, and then the second person is Namosita Gloria. So you can now see this is how you get the positioning in Excel, because you can be employed as an IT specialist in school and you need to compute the results. This is what you will be doing in case you are assigned that work. So guys, this is how you find the position, by using the rank formula. You don't use position, but you have to say equal sign rank. Then you start with the very first total, and then this one is the part that you use for looping to get the rest. So guys, I hope this video has been successful, and if so, then leave a thumbs up, comment where you're not getting me well, and in case you also need some addition, then I can also help you out. So this is how you get to calculate the maximum number up to position. I hope to see you in the next video, where we shall cover more advanced features in Excel.